The desert planet of Itar serves as the final resting place of Krong Tirak, a former gang member and alleged father of Emma and Daniel, as he previously confessed to Ruby. A small crowd has gathered around Krong's body, each espousing their personal theories about what happened to him. Some theorize perhaps it was a gun deal gone wrong. Others believe a bounty was placed on his head for some reason or another. Others thought that perhaps this move was done as a power move by the Union or the Syndicate. None knew that Krong had been executed by the Confederacy's assassins after attempting to build a rapport with Ruby. Now, a lone Grogun can be seen using his 4 arms and imposing form to push his way through the crowd with ease. He wears a black, sleeveless, close-fitting combat suit, one similar to the one Krong was wearing when he fought Zaf and Ruby. Who is this Grogun? What is he doing here? All this and more will be covered in this episode of Superstellar.
Hopefully the rumors are untrue. Surely Krog will himself get killed by a couple of Silipins.
Whoa, hey buddy, you can't let you through here.
Is that so?
Hold on there, deputy. I've seen you around. You know Krong?
So they are true then. Yes, I'm his roommate, Presh Tirak.
Well, unfortunately I can't let you in. You know, we have to mop up here, and letting it through here could make this crowd go berserk. You can go see him at the clinic once we're done here.
I'm not asking. This isn't a situation my people haven't been in before. I wonder if they'll do it.
Just go ahead, Presh. We can't have this escalating any further.
I guess we always figured out one of us would die fighting. Although I was pretty sure it was going to be in the war. Not here on Itar. We've armed a lot of dangerous people, but I didn't think any of them would try anything. Hopefully you wiped out those Silipins. Krong. My friend. My Ilakti. Who would do this to you?
Excuse me, sir. I need to have a look at this Grogun.
There's no need. He's gone. I'll make sure that he's not forgotten.
Okay, thanks.
He has no family. Send his ashes to our home. I'll make sure they're well taken care of.
Could you put him in the ambulance? Groguns are a little heavy for me.
Sure. Here. Goodbye, Krong. Deputies, do either of you have any idea what's happened here? Or have you just been standing there this whole time while a citizen was murdered on your watch?
I just got deployed because of this situation. We normally take shifts. Sheriff Secure, any ideas?
No. We found them like this after locals reported some commotion in the area. That commotion was them having seen a chase go through most of the market. Witnesses report 2 suspects, all black stealth suits, black helmets, and one with red eyes, the other with blue eyes. Well, they say eyes, but it's more their visors they're talking about.
Any idea who they're affiliated with?
Black and red? It could be Union invaders on a hit mission. They just love to mess with our citizens.
All black stealth suits are about as generic as they come. There's nothing concrete about where they're from, and I saw them in my own eyes. Nothing distinctive about their presence other than the lack of distinctiveness. Maybe that indicates some kind of organization and planning went into this.
Surely you have something if you saw them. Or overheard something? Perhaps you could have stopped all this from happening had you been doing your job.
Well, we're not paid to speculate. We're just here to defend. They weren't doing anything illegal at the time I saw them, so my hands were tied. If you want to have this investigated, hire a PI, or hell, even a bounty hunter to look into it.
You're useless to me. Damn cops. They never get anything done for us. I would have ripped both their heads off before they had a chance to hurt anyone if I was there. I remember when we first met way back in the Great War for Grog. One of our tribe's convoys was ambushed by you Ilakti guys. From that point on, they had me hunting you down. You told me your tribe had to do the same for me. We never were successful, but you were a great warrior and an excellent rival. Once we got off Grog, you found me and told me you had a great idea. The Groguns. We had a grand old time. And now you're gone. Murdered by people too scared to show their faces. Look at me. A disgrace to the Grogun culture for feeling this way. A real warrior never cries, especially not for a fallen comrade. I feel I can't help it though. Maybe I'm not a real warrior. No, I served in the war. I'm more warrior than most in this galaxy. Those assassins were smart not to show their faces. If I find them, there's no telling what I'll do. These guys had to have left something. Some kind of clue as to who they are and where they are. Let's see here. Krong seemed to have left some footprints behind as he ran from someone. Just one set of boots it looks like, unless these two are running the exact same stride. Fellas, they tried blood on the side of the road here, and the pool on the other side. Someone must have been on the ground here. It's not Grogun blood either. And the sheriff didn't mention finding any of the bodies. I wonder the attackers cleaned up some of their guys that Krong took out. Good job, Krong. So that means that there were people on the roof. Perhaps more than just two attackers. Could be dealing with a large organization here. Let's see if I can pin down exactly where Krog was shot from. Looked like a high angle shot from what I could tell. From such a high angle, I don't see that having come from the ground. Those buildings over there have a view, but it's not great. Krog must would have flown a long way if that's where he was shot from for his wounds to match. But this tavern here has a sandstone railing. It'd be the perfect spot to rest a rifle, and it looks like it's in about the right spot. Maybe someone in there knows something I don't. I could always threaten that bartender, especially if they got the clacking working today. Maybe I can get a sandwich out of it too.
Presh, I've been looking for you, you cheapskate.
Oh no, I know that voice. I believe that's our pseudochlorine friend. NG? What are you doing out of your house?
Oh, very funny. Just because I'm pseudochlorine doesn't mean you can say these things about me. In fact, I'd say it's a bit racist of you, Presh. I gave you the information on the Sailapan movements in the area. You told me you'd pay when this came to fruition. Well, I've been tracking the ships coming into Itar, and guess what? It did. But I don't see any money in my account. You see the problem?
My apologies, NG. I didn't mean to offend. It's just that we ran into a bit of a hurdle recently. Krong's dead.
Oh wow, I'm really sorry to hear that, Presh. I know he was, very special to you. You know, I can waive the fee for your troubles. Or at least reduce them. Was it the Salapans?
He took out a squad of them in the market. Besides, no Salapin or a group of Salapins would be competent enough to kill Krong. I wonder he had a plan and they didn't.
Logically, it's definitely possible. Are there any other enemies of you guys that would be competent enough to do this?
The Calyx Brotherhood certainly hates our guts, but I don't think we have any enemies that would dare act like this.
Really? You don't think it was some syndicate oligarch who would love to stop a supplier of weapons to rebellious regions? Or maybe some union bureaucrats who would love to stop the People's Fist's #1 supplier? Hell, even out here in the LNZ, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like you shipping out weapons.
I mean, you must remember, military action by either side on Itar could spark a galaxy-wide war. I don't think anyone would hate us enough to risk that. That's what we settled on here after our time with the Brotherhood. I mean, even the NZ entities don't risk sparking that kind of war.
Now you're thinking like a pseudochlorian. That makes some sense. Do you have any ideas who's responsible for this?
Not a one.
So, what are you planning to do then?
Isn't know what you want to hear, but I haven't thought that far ahead yet. What I want to do is rip off the limbs of whoever did this by hand and watch them slowly and painfully die. But first, I need to figure out who they are. That sheriff mentioned hiring a PI, but they tend to work within the law, which certainly won't be followed once I get my own hands on them. I'd hire a bounty hunter, but Krong and I's pass as barred from using Calyx Brotherhood resources for life. So that's out of the question, at least when it comes to competent bounty hunters. I do have an idea, though. You're going to help me.
Look, Presh, I'd love to help a friend in need, but I'm not a detective. I'm a hacker.
But you normally do a very good job investigating movements of fascists in the area and providing them to Krong and I. What's the difference here?
Normally, I'd have some semblance of what I'm looking for. What you have is a cold-blooded murder with nothing to go on. I don't think my skills would be helpful for you here, because I have to know something to figure out anything.
I know the uniforms. Black stealth suits with red and blue eyes. That's more of a nothing.
What do you want me to do? Monitor every frequency in the entire galaxy and use voice recognition to filter intel related to black suits, blue and red eyes?
That would work. Could you do that?
Why do I say things? It's hard being the smartest person in every room. Normally I focus on my work, on a couple of systems, the Human Confederacy, the Salapans, stuff like that. The entire galaxy is another story. Actually, wait a second. That Trojan I developed for getting into those satellites should work for any Caracorp satellites, and given their prominence, I'd wager a lot of the galaxy is working on those. I could build up a relay and try to find out some of the tactics I used to pin down those guys' movements on Itar. There'll be a lot of false positives, but if Krong wants to run around the galaxy like a cork chicken with its head cut off, that's on him. I can put some feelers out and see if I get anything. You're gonna get a lot of false positives to investigate, but that's the best I can do for you. I'm gonna need some new equipment though, and this stuff isn't cheap.
Any amount is worth it for justice. Name your price.
Well, I'll need to shoot up my own satellite. This antenna's been great, but with such a wide net, I'll need something to get out of the planet's disturbances. That'll cost a pretty penny for sure. I'll need time to get my filtering program up and running properly, but it also wouldn't hurt to have a newer computer system to handle the load this'll put on it. And you just transferred me. Wow, I didn't know you had this much money. This will help. But are you sure you want to use so much on this? I mean, you still have to eat, Presh.
I will not know peace until this is done. I'm willing to pay any price for that. There is time for eating and sleeping after this is done, and Krong's killer is dead in the ground. Until it's over, I'm dedicated to the hunt.
I'll help you kick whoever's ass needs to be kicked. From behind the computer as a support role, of course. I'll leave the fighting to you Groguns.
Computer skills are exactly what I'm lacking. I appreciate the help, NG.
Of course. What are friends for? You have my contact in your communicator, right?
You see, I lost it.
Oh, I get it. I'm not cool enough for you. Whatever. Just because I pursue the debts I'm owed, I'm the bad guy. I'll help you out, Presh, but you gotta be nicer to me. We're partners now.
I'm sorry, NG. Moving forward, I'll cherish what I have more. I suppose you never really know what you have until it's gone. And there's a hole left in your heart the size of the sun.
It's alright. I'm just tired of my people being a doormat for people like you. Just because I'm not a big, strong fighter doesn't make me useless.
I will respect your wish. From this point on, We're equally partners. Together, we will avenge Krong.
That we will. I'd best get to work sending out some feelers and rewriting my programs. Again. There's a lot to do and who knows how much time to do it. I'll keep in touch. But first, would my partner like to go grab a drink with me over at that tavern over there?
Sorry, no. I must begin looking for Krong's killer. We'll throw a big party after we find them. Good luck, NG. Let me know as soon as you find something.
Good luck to you too, Presh. Guess I'll stop by Grubburger on the way home then.
One day, my Ilakti, we will be together once again. I'm sure you'll be much happy to see me once whoever killed you is dead. Maybe violence doesn't solve every problem, but it'll make me feel so much better when I get to crush whoever wronged us. I am an unstoppable force at this point. The only thing that can stop me is an immovable object. And I think that's an impossibility at this point.